Hey guys, so I thought I would make a video about my earliest symptoms that I had before I found out I was pregnant. So about like week three and four, or more like week three. So the symptoms that I had, it was all just with, I had a feeling that I was. But the thing is that like I've had plenty of times before where I'd have a feeling, like a strong feeling, but this time it was different. But then again, all those other times were different as well. So I wasn't sure really, like most of you wouldn't be. If you're watching this, you're probably like wondering if you're pregnant, hence why you're watching it, because I watched so many videos on the symptoms, the earliest symptoms. So I'm just going to tell you guys my earliest symptoms. My earliest symptoms included really fatigued. The first time it happened, I was in a rehearsal at school, or at college, I must say, at college, yeah. I was at a rehearsal and I was 1.5 hours into it, and then all of a sudden this just ball of tiredness just hit me, and I almost like, it kind of just feels like you want to faint kind of, but like you don't want to faint, you're not like that, but like really I felt like I couldn't hold myself up anymore. But yeah, I had to stay strong because it was my rehearsal. So yeah, and that was one of my first signs that I was pregnant. Also nausea. Nausea. I felt like vomiting. But see, the problem with that sign was that before I got pregnant, like probably like a month before I got pregnant, not a month ago, a month before I got pregnant, I was also feeling really nauseated. I was really sick before I got pregnant. I was like low on iron, I had iron deficiency, all that stuff. And so yeah, I was pretty unhealthy. So, and I had like some stomach infection, and I was just like constantly at the doctor's like ever since like last year. So yeah, but the thing about that is that I was feeling nauseous, but I hadn't felt nauseous like in a long time from when I was sick, because I was getting better. I was like heaps better. So yeah, I was feeling like nauseous. Anyway, the biggest sign for me was when no, I'm not gonna say biggest signs. There were just a couple of signs that I had, and another one of them is one day I was eating eggs. I boiled it, but I didn't fully cook it. Like it was still sort of running, and I like it like that. Some people find it gross, I find it delicious. At least I used to. Anyways, that morning I was having it with bread. Then I was loving it as usual. Then all of a sudden I really felt the urge to vomit. I was just like, whoa. And like I think it was like 2 weeks or probably a week before I found out I was pregnant. I took a pregnancy test and it came out negative. I only took it, I didn't think I was pregnant, but I only took it just so I could calm down and relax, because normally I get my periods like early. But the thing is that like I was on the pill, but I was off the pill because I took medication and then it stopped working. And I didn't know that you could continue to take it, but I stopped taking it because I started freaking out, because I started to get my period and I was still on the pill. I was like, what the hell is happening? And yeah, so I stopped taking the pill, and that's when I got pregnant. Actually, no. I stopped taking the pill, I got my period. But by the time I got my period, I had no pills left to take. Like, I didn't have a new package to start all over again with, so I had to wait a whole month. Anyways, that whole month of waiting, I had a feeling that I'd get pregnant, but that wasn't the first time I've been off the pill and I didn't get pregnant. So I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna get pregnant. I'm not gonna get pregnant. I didn't get pregnant before, so I'm not gonna get pregnant now. That was silly. So yeah, then another symptom was headaches. Yeah, I had headaches and I was always tired. Like really tired. The things that really started to make me trip was when I started to get stomach cramps. Usually when I get cramps, I normally would get my period like on the day that I start getting cramps or the next day. It's like that. And yeah, I had like one day I had cramps and I was just like, oh, I'm getting my period soon. And then like I didn't get my period, and I didn't get my period the next day. I was just like, okay, maybe not. So then a couple of days passed, and then I got cramps again, and yeah, no period came. And I think it happened like 3 times, and where I was cramping, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get my period, but it didn't come because that's just how it is. I normally get my period like a week before, like it's normally supposed to come when I'm off the pill. So that had me worried when I didn't get my period early. But I was thinking, oh, maybe my period's just gonna come on time now. It's not gonna come early, even though I'm off the pill. Yeah, and the night before, I was supposed to, well, actually, no, a couple of days before that, I was constantly going to the bathroom, like constantly. Oh, and like my moods were just really bad. I had really bad mood swings. That was another sign, but like I took that as menstrual signs. The night before I got my period, I woke up 2 o'clock in the morning and I needed to pee. Like desperately. Like I'm not usually like that, because the thing is that like I had gone to the bathroom before I went to bed to prevent that from happening, because it had been happening to me like a couple of times. But when it happened this time, after I had gone and like, you know, gone use the bathroom before I went to bed, it just shocked me. I had one pregnancy test left. And then, so when I went back to sleep after going to the bathroom in the morning, I was just like, no, I'm taking that pregnancy test tomorrow. I woke up, I took the pregnancy test, and bam, I'm pregnant. Wow, I just bammed, and like the light just bam again. No, light doesn't want to do it again. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so yeah, I came up with 2 lines, and I was like, I was shaking, but I was happy, but I was shaking. Normally when I take pregnancy tests, I'm really like hoping for it to be positive. But this time when I took it, I was so sure that it would come out negative that when it came out positive, I was so shocked. Anyway, I hope this helps with anyone else that's wondering if they're pregnant or not. Really, all you can do is just wait it out. I mean, signs show all the time, but they can be really mixed up with period symptoms. So yeah, those were my early symptoms before I found out. By the way, I found out when I found out pretty early, because I took a blood test after I took that pregnancy test, because the urine test at the doctor's wouldn't work. So they made me take a blood test, and I went back the next day and it came out positive. So yeah, I was between 3 to 4 weeks pregnant when I found out, when I got like a positive answer. So I found out pretty early, which was good, so I could stop smoking. Anyway, good luck, and thanks for watching. Bye.